talk at one of the meetings, and we woke up in the morning and she was having something going on that morning, and so she played Joel Osteen, and I'm like, what is this? Just like I was with that book. I'm like, what is this? Like, I'm not listening to this, but I sat there and I listened, and I was like, wow. So even if you're not like a religious person, the messages that he has in his sermons are really incredible. So if you can look past, if you're not a religious person, you can look past that and you can just listen and take in his sermons. He is excellent as well. So I try to do self-development every single day. Like I said, every single day. You can just listen and take in his sermons. He is excellent. I hope shower almost every day. So you have that. Like, we're in the shower for at least 10 minutes. And if you're like me, I'm in there for like 20, because that's the only time I get to myself. So I'm in the shower for 20 minutes, and I pray something every single day, so that I know I'm getting self-development in. And I like to do it a lot of the times in the morning, or I'll even do it in the morning when I'm drinking my coffee, because then I know that I'm starting my day on a positive note. So that if my team comes to me, that I'm positive and I have that positive energy to pour into them. So self-development really, really helped me last month. I had my slowest month last month, and I know I talked a little bit about it at last month's meeting, but it was hard. The last 2 months have been my slowest months in this company, and it was really hard because I was a mass enroller for distributors. I was signing up a lot of loyal customers, and other people were even starting to notice. Like Rachel was even like, and Josh were even like, what's going on? Like, you're not yourself. Like, what's going on? And I realized that it was because I wasn't doing as much self-development. Like, I wasn't keeping myself, positive, and I wasn't pouring into myself. So I wasn't being the leader and staying the leader and the person that I had been, because I wasn't putting in that extra effort. So I started not only doing the self-development again, but doing it sometimes even twice a day. Anytime that I was feeling like down, I would look up something on YouTube, or I would, read even a chapter in that book. You guys, you don't have to spend hours a day on self-development. It only takes a couple minutes. And I promise you, if you can get into the habit of doing it every single day, it will change your business. But you have to put in that little bit of extra effort. So the next time that you see someone, doing something and you're like, what are they doing? Maybe they're doing self-development. Maybe they have that extra edge on you. If you want to be the best, then you have to put in all of the effort. You have to give this business 150%, and you have to have that's something that someone else doesn't have. If you want to stand out, then you have, and grow yourself as a leader, then you have to do self-development. So again, these are some of the books. If you guys have any questions or want to know any more of the self-development stuff that I do, you can totally reach out to me. My team I probably drive them crazy because I'm always sending them videos, and I know you guys, if you see on the page, I'm always posting videos, because I just think it's always such good stuff. I'm like, everyone has to see this, it's so good. So I think that's all I have. So do self-development, you guys, it'll help your business a lot. We're gonna take like a little while on this, because we're actually like really ahead. Wait, do we have time? Oh, I get it. Does anybody have any last minute questions? Oh, I didn't write. Oh, but I want to ask them at the end. Okay. Oh, okay. Just grab one at a time. Oh. Okay.
Okay, the first question is, what would be your best advice for somebody who's taking a really long time to promote?
Well, first, you can't compare yourself to anybody. That's like the number one thing. And one thing that I have to say is, if you guys look at the compensation plan, all the way at the end, there's this little chart. And on this chart, it has all the ranks. And can somebody pull it up? We have time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder why.
It's loading.
The law of attraction should be the second to last page.
The secret. The secret's about the law.
Oh,
The Secret is also on Netflix, guys.
yeah, it's about the law of attraction. I couldn't think of the word that I was trying to say.
It's not on there.
It should be the second to
Got
last.
it? There we go. Okay, so our team as a whole, like our personal team, our Indiana team, we promote insanely fast. Like, you guys wouldn't even believe. So the average person is a distributor for 12 months. That's a year. Yeah. A distributor level average to stay at that level is 12 months. So you guys thinking that you're not moving fast enough, I mean, none of you guys, well, very few of you guys have even been in a year. So know that in general, if you've already promoted, you're already ahead of the game. Executive is 14 months, Ruby's 15 months, Emerald 17, Diamonds 21, Double Diamonds 24, Triples 28, Presidential is 34, and Ambassador is 50. So you guys, again, thinking that you're not promoting very fast, we have a skewed look at it because our team promotes crazy. So I know it's hard watching everybody else around you promote and everything like that, and especially if a downline passes you or anything like that, I understand it's hard, but you have to not compare yourself. Your time is going to come. Don't quit just because you feel like you're not promoting fast enough, because your time will come. It just might not be now. And that's when it's important to do your self-development and do all that good stuff.
Yeah, and that's when we talked about this last month, for those who don't remember, weren't there. When you feel, like, oh my gosh, I've been a distributor for however many months, it's not where I want to be, I feel like I'm stuck, that's when you have to do things that make you uncomfortable. Okay, that's when, Zach made a video over the page, in the summer, and I liked it because he said, he essentially he was giving tough love, and he said, you can't really say you've given it all, have you, you can't say you've given it all until you, think to yourself, have I listened to every single call, corporate call, team call? Have I blitzed every single time I've been out? Have I been adding new people on Instagram every day? Have I been adding everybody on Facebook every day? Have I been staying plugged in? Have I been having parties? When you ask yourself that, if I were to think right now, have I done that? I haven't done half of those. And that's probably why I haven't signed a distributor yet this month. So I think it's really easy when we feel like we're stuck to just kind of blame other people. And that's when I know I compare. I used to compare myself all the time to Tiffany, even though I didn't know them beforehand, but I was like, I'm no different than them. Why am I not promoting that best? But that's when you guys have to do things that make you uncomfortable, but that's when change is gonna happen. Yeah, sorry, to answer your question too.
Yeah.
This question that I picked up, it says, I don't understand how you can get all of your distributors and loyal customers on Instagram. Cold messaging is how I personally get distributors. It's actually lately it's been happening to where people have messaged me on Instagram first, and I've been on Instagram probably 3 straight months. And when I say been on Instagram, I'm staying up late. I'm really, really pouring into my Instagram. I'm following people every hour. I really poured into my Instagram, and now I have 2,200 followers, and now people are messaging me, I would say maybe 1 a week, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when they come to you first on Instagram, that's actually really big because it's not as normal as Facebook. Cold messaging, I probably cold message at least 100 people on Instagram a day, and I'm not kidding. They don't always respond, but when they do, I get their phone numbers, and lifestyle posts, that works for me personally. I like to just talk about my life. I'm home with my husband and my son. You guys don't have to be retired. You don't have to have kids, but talk about the little things. Talk about what you're going for. When it comes to customers, last month I signed 4 loyal customers on Instagram, and I thought that was crazy because I'm not a loyal customer enroller. And I don't quite know what it was. I started picking more professional pictures. Like I don't do belly shots on Instagram because I realized when I post a before and after of a belly, it turns people off because a lot of people are just against it. Works for some odd reason. But what I've gotten is like hair, skin, and nails. I post like what I did. That's what I did. I posted a picture, like I Googled like a pretty hair model kind of thing. Like just I Googled like pretty hair. It was like long wavy hair, and then I made word swag like hair model something. And I had 3 people message me, text me, because I said, text me your first 3 spots will fill up fast, whatever the case may be. And then what I do is I ask them their goals. And 2 people I got to sign up for hair, skin, and nails, and they wanted to lose weight. So I tacked on a couple things from that. So I would be careful with your Instagram on when you're looking for loyals, what kind of before and afters you pick, because it can turn people off. And I personally don't want my Instagram to look like an advertisement. If you were to go to it right now, I think I even deleted BOGO. I deleted BOGO because BOGO's over. So I don't want I don't know how to explain it.
Do you want to touch on that?
Crowdfire, that helps me. If you're like wondering, you have to have a big following, you guys, and Crowdfire helps you have a big following. I talked about it last month, and there's also an Instagram training. I love it. I get a lot of interaction now that I have 2,200. But cold messaging, definitely.
So you're also doing a 4 or 5 part training starting tonight on Instagram
Did everyone hear her?
with Alyssa Billy.
John Eric is doing
He's doing a 4 or 5 part Instagram training series. And it starts tonight and it's on Periscope. So if you don't have Periscope, you need to download it. Make the room for it on your phone, you guys. It's really good. So he's doing a 4 or 5 part series with that. He's actually doing it with Alyssa Billy, who now has over like 36,000 followers on Instagram.
It's disgusting. It's not even fair.
Okay, so I have a question, so you can talk to us. How would you be able to maintain that when you have somebody like that? I mean, I watch her and she is like insane.
You guys have to remember too, like, and Alyssa would tell you this, she's told me this. Alyssa had a blog before this. So her 36,000 followers are not just from It Works. Alyssa had a blog before this, so a major part of her following came from her blog. So you have to remember that you don't know everyone's past. So that's also why you can't compare yourself, because if you were to look at Alyssa's page, you'd be like, well, how did she do that? Well, she did it because she had a blog. But if you didn't know that, you'd be like, man, I want 36,000 followers, which
She also does like a sponsorship. She's like famous, and from her blog, she like does like, it's some kind of sponsor thing where you can do giveaways and stuff. But I don't think, I heard someone say when I did an Instagram training with Erin, we did it with a couple other girls too at one point, and someone said, once you get up there, you know, you're not worried about where your followers are gonna go. You could lose 5, and you know, when you have 32,000, that's really nothing. You probably don't even notice. So after a while, I don't think they really go anywhere.
Okay, the next question. What do you do when you're older and let it bother you? Do you have anything to say? Again, this comes with comparing. Everybody's good at different things. I know, and I mean, obviously, I'm not older. I'm 21. But from what I understand, and like Kathy Herr, she's older and she's triple. Yeah, she's a triple diamond, and she did that. It's not what Tiffany gave her or anything like that. She truly does work her business. She's not the best at social media. A lot of older people aren't. It wasn't big then, and I mean now we just post everything about our lives, and older people usually aren't used to that. So you need to find what works for you. A lot of times, if you're not good at social media, you're good at getting out there and talking to people and having parties and blitzing and doing all that stuff. You're more face to face, and that's okay. That's what you have to bank on. Don't try to be something you're not. Don't try to be social media crazy if that's not what you're good at.
Honestly, I kind of like, I mean, when it comes to social media, yeah, I do kind of feel like older people kind of don't have it as easy because, you know, they're not as good as at social media as we are, because we grew up with it. It's like, if you don't have social media now, it's like, it's weird. Sorry if you don't. I'm sorry, that sounded rude. I didn't mean it like that.
I think maybe a better terminology might not be older people, but maybe people who aren't as familiar.
Yeah, because,
Suggestion on terminology.
right. And, sorry.
The question.
Yeah, I'm not trying, and I'm not even trying to categorize like, you know, like old people, because I really feel like we are, what I was trying to say, sorry, I'm not the best with my words, I always get in trouble for this. You know, I think like we're better at social media, but they are better at, like Desi said, talking in person, because I feel like if, I'll just say me and my mom. My mom's, do you want to say her age? She's 52.
It's a generation thing too. We grew up with
That's what it is.
computers.
Right.
We have, you know, a different generation didn't grow up with computers, so they're not comfortable using computers and social media. They're more comfortable face-to-face interaction because that's what they're used to.
Right, and so like if me and like, I mean, so I'm really good at social media, but I feel like if me and my mom were to go to the grocery store and separate, and she were to talk to people and I were to talk to people, I would kind of think she would have it easier, because, you know, let's think if you were a stranger and someone peppy and 52, rather than like, some people think that I'm like just like a teen, or like they don't maybe take me as seriously. I feel like I don't know what to say without saying older people.
Just say it.
I'm sorry.
We're not old, it's just, it's the difference between you guys, like, who grew up with
It's
the
a
computers.
generation.
That's just one
Yeah.
question, Jen, I just want to say
That's
that.
older.
I just say
Generation,
that.
yeah.
But also, that doesn't, just because you're not good at social media now doesn't mean you can't be. I know before I had It Works, I didn't even have a Facebook. I deleted it. I was like, I got married. I was like, I don't even care about anybody on my social media anyway. So I deleted it. I didn't want anybody in my business. And because I am a private person, I don't like putting everything all out there. I was not good at social media when I first started. Like, if you creep back on my Facebook, I don't even know how I got people to join my team, because like my Facebook was spam. It really was. I was terrible at social media. But as you do it more, and as you watch trainings, as you watch other leaders, and you just work towards it, and you just keep trying, you're gonna get better.
Yeah, I would just really say, if you're not comfortable with social media, then do the opposite and go out and talk to people, because if you're peppy and you're confident and you're comfortable, talking when you're out, like blitzing, is just as good as Instagram, because there's millions of people out there. So I would, don't do so, I mean, you don't have to not do social media, but just do the opposite. Talk when you're out and about, go places.
Just do what you're good at.
Yeah.
And if you're better at talking to people, do that. Again, just don't try to be something that you're not, because when you do that, people can sense it, and then they're usually turned off by it.
Right. Another question is, besides going to your upline, is there a way to learn charting? I don't know if this YouTube videos. That's what, yeah, I was gonna say YouTube videos, but I don't know if this question was like because maybe you don't have a relationship with your upline, but if that is the case, do know that you don't have to just go to your sponsor. You can go to other people. I have people, some people under Desi, but some people are from Indiana and have asked me questions on charting, and I've literally had to be like, okay, well, I don't know you, so you'll have to tell me some more information. So you don't have to go to your sponsor, but there are a lot of charting videos. Jocelyn Yates.
That's how I learned to
Jupiter.
chart, and I like to think that I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah, there are other ways.
I mean, not to do my homework.
I would be careful with like asking like friends and stuff, not like sidelines, but I'm just saying like,
Talk to somebody who really knows your
No,
charts.
yeah.
I'm every single one of you guys upline, so I can look and see your charts. Rachel is a lot of your guys' upline, so she can see your charts. Come to us if you don't feel comfortable going to your upline, or you feel like maybe they don't have your best interest in mind. Come to us, because I mean,
I really love charting. I probably make a new chart every other day.
Rachel is psycho. Yeah.
So ask me if you want. Ask me.
Is that good? Yeah. Okay. Okay. How do you get past the anxiety of people getting mad with cold messaging? Rachel's had some really weird stuff happen with cold
If
messaging.
we're being honest here, I'm a sensitive person.
Oh, she's emotional.
I'm a crybaby, and I have a panel after this, and I already keep like tearing up thinking about what I'm gonna say. But that being said, like if I were to stop cold messaging every single time someone was mean to me, I probably would have like stopped at Ruby, because people are mean to me. I've had people say like, "You're psycho, effing delete me," and I'm like, okay, I'll just block you before you could, like, I unsend it on Instagram, you can unsend things, and I unsend it right away, because I'm like, she's gonna screenshot it. I've had people call me a stalker. I've had people say that I'm fake. I've had people just block me. I've had people make statuses. I don't let it stop me, because then, like, okay, so yeah, you have one person mean to you. There's also like 5 other people that day that will probably message me and say like, wow, that's the nicest thing I've heard all week. I'm actually pregnant right now. What do you do? You know, like it just, all of the nice people that respond back make it worth it. And now I'm to the point where like, I mean, sometimes I get shaky, like, I get nervous. Like I don't want anyone to screenshot my conversation and then everybody think I'm crazy. But like, I just laugh it off, honestly. I usually laugh and then I tell somebody about it because it makes me feel less embarrassed. But you can't let that stop you guys, because cold messaging, I swear, cold messaging is what has made me successful. And I'll say that like over and over again. You can't let it get to you.
And Rachel said like she doesn't want people to make statuses or whatever. I actually just recently had a status made about me. So like that stuff is gonna happen. As you're successful, people are jealous. That's what it is. People are jealous. People don't understand our business. People just don't get it. And a lot of people don't want to see other people succeed, especially if they're not happy with their life. Like they want to bring down people because they feel like crap about themselves. So, I mean, I can't say that everybody's going to have status made about them, because you might not ever. But if you do, you can't let it get to you. I mean, I kind of let it get to me. I kind of got a little psycho. I commented on it. It was unprofessional and I shouldn't have done it. But I mean, you can't let it get to you, because like Rachel said, all those yeses, and when your team messages you about how amazing their check is and how it's changed their lives and how they can have a Christmas for their kids, that stuff makes it all worth it.
And with Instagram, so like someone messages you back and they're mean. Sometimes I've had a couple people that started off mean. I've turned them into, you know, either potentials or distributors. It doesn't always happen, but like more than likely, I don't know anybody on Instagram. I really don't. I don't have distributors in this room on my Instagram. So I don't know people on Instagram. So I kind of just think of it as like, okay, I'm deleting that message. I'm going to block them. And then in a couple hours, I'm probably going to have like a sandwich and forget about them. So you really just like have to like, I'm not even trying to just be like, shake it off. It's not going to hurt your feelings, but you really just have to delete it and move on. And you're never going to run into that person. They're probably like in a different state or something.
Right. You can't dwell on all that stuff because it's going to hold you back.
Oh gosh, I really like this. What should you do if you're under a distributor who has no drive? Am I stuck? Will I still have a chance to move up with this company? I really like this because we're actually, what should you do if you're under a distributor who has no drive? Am I stuck? Will I still have a chance to move up with this company? Yeah, you can always move up, you guys. Desi wants to talk about this too, but I mean, we probably have both. We have different answers for this, because I personally, I mean, I was needy in the beginning, so I do believe when you sign up, you do need your you do need your upline to guide you in the right direction for at least your first 30 days. But after that, if you really do want it, and you're going out and learning from other people from eSuite, because I learned almost everything from eSuite, you can pass that person, and you really don't need an upline. Some people have started and never had an upline, like an active upline. Obviously, you have to sign under someone. But yeah, you have millions of opportunities to surpass that person. You don't need them. You are not tied to that person. You do not have to stick to that one person. You can ask other people questions. You can learn from other people. You do have the chance. I'm sorry. That makes me sad if you think that you don't have the chance to move up because you're upline.
So for me, in my personal experience, I signed up, and then the girl that I signed up under like quit like right away, and she didn't help me. And like and then I was the first one to start in the area beside her, obviously, and then she quit. So I was by myself, and all I had was the people from Indiana, and I didn't know any of them, and I was intimidated. I mean, Tiffany Herr, she was a triple diamond. She did that like so fast, and like I was intimidated. But you have to be self-motivated. Like I said earlier, that's where it comes down. Like that's what it is. If you have that drive, you're gonna figure it out. You have other uplines. We have a huge team here now. So you have all of these different people that you can talk to and that you can help. And like Rachel said, she was needy in the beginning. If you feel like you're needy, then come to me or come to Rachel. We do this full time to help you guys. So, I mean, no, I strongly believe you don't have to have an upline. I didn't have one from the beginning. And I mean, look at where I am now, and I surpassed her by a lot. And I mean, now, I mean, not now because she quit again, but she started back up, and then she was coming to me for advice, and she was coming to me for help. So, I mean, like, I don't know. I don't think that you really need an upline. Tiffany barely had an upline. So, I mean, to be successful, you have to want it yourself, and you have to put the effort out there, watch the YouTube videos. There's so much stuff on eSuite that you can learn, and in the Documents tab, all that good stuff. Like, again, you can do this by yourself. Not that we want you to, because that's why we're here, but you can do it by yourself.
This one is, what is your favorite?
Oh, I thought you just answered.
No, sorry.
your
Question.
Sorry.
You didn't take my turn. Why is there so much tough love? It can be discouraging. Okay, I'm gonna touch on this first because I'm usually the tough one. Rachel's the nice one. I'm like the one that's not as nice. Not that I'm mean, but I'm usually the tough love person. Because sometimes people need it. That's why. Again, people are sensitive, like Rachel. Especially you couldn't take tough love in the beginning. I mean, you have to kind of grow thick skin. People are going to talk about you. People are going to do all that stuff. That's what you have to do. But the reason why we give tough love is because sometimes you kind of need a kick in the butt. I mean, if you're throwing a pity party, like I throw myself pity parties, and then sometimes it's Rachel, and she's just like, you need to get together. Like, you're the reason why this is happening. And that's what I need. I mean, I know everybody needs different things, but a lot of people do need the tough love to make them realize
I'll just ask you guys to just kind of try to think about like switching roles here. Like, you guys are Desi and I, and you guys have this team page. I think I know some things because I know I've been a little snappy on the pages before, but I think what you guys have to kind of think about is I have 400 people under me. Desi has obviously over that, and that's our team page, and new people are being added daily. And sometimes, you know, I'm just gonna be honest, I was just gonna say I'm perfect. I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect, and I have bad days. And sometimes something that this meeting's really about being honest with you guys. I'll be honest, the biggest thing that I'm trying to work on, and I was thinking about this on the plane and talking about it in my panel, is something I'm trying to work on is like keeping my cool, because sometimes I personally have a hard time when the same question is being asked on the page. Sometimes I forget to remind myself, maybe that person asked the same question as someone did last week, but maybe that person that asked it the second time signed up yesterday and never saw it. I'm trying really hard to not maybe always be tough love, but I do believe, you know, we can't always be nice. And if we're talking about tough love, I'm the biggest baby, you guys. If you could be in this room and say that I've been mean to you, and I am sorry if I have, but it's all about finding that fine line between being a friend and a business partner. And I mean, Savannah's a freaking rock star, and I've had to give tough love to her. I mean, maybe what if I didn't give tough love to Savannah? Maybe she would be.
Yeah, so for my first couple months, I was like, I kept telling Rachel at the end of every month when promotions come, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. After the third month, she goes, I'm sick and tired of hearing you tell me that you want to quit. If you're gonna quit, then do it. But because I can't baby you anymore. I can't keep telling you every month that you can't quit. If you're gonna quit, then just quit. And I was kind of like, I didn't text her back. I don't think I texted her back for until the next day, and I was like, okay, fine, you're right, I'm a baby. But
Savannah's really hard on herself, so maybe you guys are feeling like you guys are like that too. But when it comes to tough love, and I'm going to talk about this again, but just to touch up on it, I wanted to quit a couple times, and I wanted to talk about it after this panel. But I called Desi, but there was one time where I confided in Megan Tanzi, who happened to be with Tiffany at the time, and that was a month into the company, and Tiffany was very scary. Now she's my girl, and I love her.
She was a lot
different. She was just like, she was red. She was like, she said what she wanted to say. And so Megan was with Tiffany, and I was just having a pity party. I was having potential stolen, and then people were accusing me of it. My team was getting big. I was overwhelmed, and I was like, F it, I'm quitting. And I was super dramatic about it, and I told Megan that. And I kind of just wanted her, to just comfort me. I texted Megan and Desi, but the only difference was Megan was with Tiffany. And Tiffany texted me and said, hey girl, can I call you after this? And I was like, here we go. And I straight up said to Tiffany, I said, if you're gonna yell at me, no. And she was like, no, I just wanna talk to you. And she laid into me on the phone, and I was bawling on the phone, and she was just like, so what's your deal? Why are you even crying? And I literally was just like, I just don't know. And I did not even know Tiffany. And she was just like, she was mean. She was just like, I'm calling you and I'm being real with you because I care about you. And I didn't feel like that was true, but she was like, I'm taking the time out of my life to talk to you. You need to get your SHIT together. And literally, I really did feel like crap on myself, but it kicked me in the butt, and it's exactly what I needed. And it's just thickened up my skin a little bit. I really do believe we do need tough love on the page sometimes, because it's so easy just to compare yourself and to sink, and just to need a kick in the butt. maybe,
Well, and like, not only that, and this might sound rude, but I mean, we have some lazy people on the team. They don't want to look for answers. They just want to post or they just want to message us right away. And though we do this full time, it can get frustrating. I mean, this is a 24/7 job and it's a great job and I would never want to do anything else. But like, again, like Rachel said, role reversal. When you have the same person asking you the same exact questions all the time, it is frustrating. And that's when I know it's something that I need to work on. I kind of not necessarily get snappy, but I get short, or I'm like, I'm not even gonna message back because you should be able to look at that. And again, like, it's hard for us to know the fine line because we're learning just as you guys are. But sometimes people need it. That's what it comes down to in my mind.
and sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes I don't always have the time to like make a mushy-gushy post. Sometimes I just have to comment on the page and be like, here's the deal, guys, this, and maybe it comes off as cranky. But sorry if you guys feel like it's like mean, because it really isn't. We really do love you guys, but you just have to think of it where we're coming from. There are people that do like, utilize the page in a negative way, and we don't have a happy day every day. Sometimes it's just, we trust you guys and we love you guys, so sometimes it makes it easier to be ourselves on the page when we're having a bad day. I'm speaking for myself when I say that. This one is, what is your favorite part of this company, and has it always been the same in the beginning? My favorite part is that there's always something new. Something like little is that when we signed up, we didn't have little defining gels in the kit. That's cool.
I was super excited about that.
Yeah, you can make an extra $10 by you pair it. But I love that they are always coming out with something bigger and better. When I signed up, they had a $10,000 bonus per diamond in 3 months, and that's what I did. And then they kind of took it away, so that kind of was like a stinger. But we just know that they're coming, like, we didn't have the Ruby. I didn't get Ruby, the Ruby bonus, and I went Ruby in less than 2 months. They're always coming out with something bigger and better, and like, I really think 2016 is going to be like sick.
Oh, for sure.
That's
I mean,
my
I think
favorite
at
part.
conference they're gonna do some crazy stuff. I really do.
What's your favorite part?
My favorite part, and like, this might sound weird. No, I don't think it will sound weird. My favorite part of the company as a whole is all the friendships that I made. I know, like I said earlier, I deleted my Facebook. I was like, kind of, I'm trying not to use a swear word, kind of like, forget everybody else. Forget everybody else. I'm gonna do my own thing. Like, I graduated high school early. I only did half days, so like I lost all my friends like junior year because I became an adult before all of them. And like, so I just had my dogs and I had Sean and I had my mom. Like, that was it. And then now we're in this company and I have this huge team underneath me, and I have like Megan and I have Rachel and I have all these people, and it's awesome because like going through everything I am with Sean, like I have Rachel, I stayed at Rachel's house, 3 times for a week at a time? Like, and if without it works, there's no way. Rachel and I went to high school together. She thought I was a bad girl. Like, she says it all the time. She thought I was a bad girl, and like, again, we saw each other. I mean, we were in chorus together. We talked vaguely, but like, we would have never ever talked. And because of it work, she's my best friend. And like Megan, she's my best friend. I'm in her wedding. I was there when she got engaged. We went on vacation with each other. Like, by far, my favorite thing is the friendship, because like money comes and goes, all that stuff comes and goes, but like the friendships that we're building here are lifetime.
And that you don't have to just be friends, with your downline. So I have best friends that don't have anything to do with mine. Like, I mean, I like to consider Erin Tweed my best friend. I really like her. And I'm not even in her downline. And we text. I'm just going to say we text sometimes. So that's good. But like a lot of people, like when we did the accountability thing, a lot of you guys, we paired you up with people that you guys weren't in each other's downlines. And we've gotten so much good feedback. And like some of you guys took the initiative to find your own accountability partner from a different downline. And you guys can make friends that like they don't even have anything to do with their business. There's so many possibilities for new friendships. I really like that too.
Next question. Do you compare yourself to others, and how do you keep going and focus? In the beginning, I did compare myself. Personally, well, number one, Tiffany Murder. I mean, I feel like everybody compared yourself, which is insane. I'm sorry. Going diamond in a month, double in 2 months, and triple in 3 months is crazy. It's definitely possible. It's still possible. People are doing it all the time. But like, yeah, I compared myself to her. And then I kind of got over that real quick when I wasn't signing any distributors when I first started. And then I signed Rachel. And she was the second distributor that I signed. I signed her and another girl in the same week. And Rachel took off, like, insane. Like, she was signing, when did you sign, Lisa? Like 5 days in. It took me 2 months to sign my first distributor. So, like, I was kind of jealous. I was like, this girl, she's going to pass me. Like, I was consumed in it. And, like, I called Megan and I was like, what am I going to do? And she's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because, again, we're all growing together. But once I kind of got over it and I realized, well, that's good that she's going fast because then I'm just going to use her to promote. You have to,
She's not happy for me or anything. It's okay.
no, I'm just saying, like, at first I was salty. I was. And then, like, you have to think, I said that really bad. I'm sorry. But, like, you have to think of the bright side. Okay, guys. You just have to look at the bright side of things, and you have to be happy for the people around you, because when you consume yourself in your upline or with your downline possibly passing you, or your sideline, like, oh my God, they signed at the same time as me and now they're diamond. You cannot do that. You just can't, because when you're so consumed in other people's businesses, you're not working your own. There's no way you can give 100% to your business when you're caring about everybody else's.
And I want to go back to what Savannah said about like not comparing yourself to Alyssa, because a lot of you wouldn't know she had a blog. She said she worked on her blog for 2 years, and like some of the people on her blog, she has people from The Bachelor. Like one of the Bachelorettes is on her blog, and it actually she participated in her proposal. Like Alyssa's like low key famous, and so like you have to remember you don't know about you don't know what other people are going through and like why. Because I was like 2 months ago I had another pity party for myself, and it was right before my wedding, and I told Desi like I actually wanted to quit. It wasn't fun anymore, and I was comparing myself to Brittany Landrum, Erin Tweed, just those two, I think, because I'm like we signed in the same time, me, Brittany, and Erin, and they're presidentials, and they get like 70 likes on all their stuff, even their like loyal customer pictures, and I was just on myself like, what the heck, what are they doing? And then when I finally kind of like just got out of it, that's again when I stepped back and I was like, okay, I told Desi this too, because I had a pity party, and then I was like, okay, so I've been thinking, and I noticed they wear their shirts, their It Works clothes every single place they go, and I don't, I'll just be honest, I don't do that. I don't know why I don't. So they're blitzing that way. They're tuning into calls.
Really like tore into herself, and like that's what you have to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's really easy. It's easy to compare yourself. We're not saying like we've never done it. It's easy to compare yourself with people around you. You want to be like that. You want to succeed. But that's when you just really have to dig deep and think like, what are you doing? And I was like, crap, I'm like obsessing over these two girls, which means I'm not wearing my clothes. I'm not tuning into calls. I'm really not even making my posts the same. And just I realized I'm different. I'm different than them. Don't know why I'm not presidential, but I'm different than them.
How do you want to say focus? Keep going, say focus. Did we touch on it? How do we keep going and stay focused? It's too hard.
Oh, stay focused.
You have to have your vision. You have to have your why.
And just because you guys have a strong why, like my why started off, it was honestly my husband before my son, because Zach didn't think I would do well. And then it was my son, and like my son's my world. And even though that's a huge why, I still get hard on myself. I still get depressed. That's when you have to step back and, rethink of your vision. That's when I really say to people, why did you start? That's when I give tough love. And I'm like, listen here, why did you start? You said you wanted to bring your husband home. You're blah, 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 blah. That's when you just really have to step back when you aren't feeling like you're focused. I think the best way to stay focused is the team pages, I think. But my question was, how do you make yourself not seem so desperate for a distributor? How do you relax when you're talking? Not seeming so desperate, you have to be yourself. This is something I've learned as I went, because I was very desperate in the beginning. I liked how Katie said, like she was trying to fill her boxes. So everybody is in the beginning. You want everybody. You're not going to turn away a distributor in the beginning. So I think it's just being yourself. And like I said in one of my cold messaging videos, something I've been doing is I've been voice messaging people. I'm not comfortable on the phone. If someone says like, I need to talk to you on the phone, I'm not gonna turn them away, but I'm awkward. So what I do is I voice message them, whether it be on Facebook or through iMessage, and I let them hear my voice. I usually just make up an excuse like, sorry, I'm driving, or sorry, I'm walking around Walmart. Girl, I'm excited. And I just let them hear my voice, and then it just makes me calm. It makes them hear me, and I just think of it as I'm just changing their life. It's not like they can't even see me, you know? You just have to be relaxed about it, not overthink it.
Oh, definitely not overthinking it. And again, that comes with comparing yourself. Like everybody, it took me 2 months to sign my first distributor. Like even if you feel like it's taking you a long time, don't get desperate. And again, it's easier said than done, but I mean, your time might not be now.
And when it comes to desperation, when you think of it as you're not a salesperson and you're just literally sharing this opportunity with people, like that's my go-to line for everybody, because I'm not a salesperson. I'm sharing this opportunity. So when you think of it as like that, it'll be okay when you talk to someone and you pour it into them and you're like, they're gonna sign, and then they say, give me a couple weeks. It makes that kind of like moment different, because you're like, okay, I shared that opportunity with her. She's gonna come back around on to the next one. And you don't feel as desperate because you just know there's more lives out there to change.
And in the beginning, it is hard, but you just have to know that your time is coming. This question, how do you go about adding people on Facebook and following on Instagram? For Facebook, I add chicks, especially if they have kids in their pictures. I'm gonna be honest. If they're super pretty, if like, you know, whatever. I pretty much add anybody. I do, however, I look at their friends, and if they have like 20 It Works distributors, I don't add them, just because we don't want to like blow up everybody's newsfeed. And that's just my personal preference. Because then like I think of it as a company as a whole type thing. If one person has 100 distributors, like that's all their newsfeed is, and they might have like a bad taste in their mouth because of that, because not everybody posts correctly. Usually if they have like 2 or 3 distributors, I'll still add them, but any more than that, I probably wouldn't add them. And then for Instagram, like we said, Crowdflyer is huge. I like dogs, obviously, and so like Dogs of Instagram, I went on there and I added a bunch of people because a lot of my stuff is about dogs, and then like they feel more of a connection, and I'm like, oh my god, your dog is so cute, and then they're like, oh my gosh, it was yours, and then we start talking. That is really how it goes.
It really is simple. This one says, because I'm a patient person, how long do you wait for somebody to take, is that the I love you one? Because I'm a patient person, how long do you wait for somebody to take off? How much do you help? I like to give like my new distributors, like I don't want to say special treatment, but I give them different treatment in their first 30 days. I'm not babying them, but I'm kind of holding their hand, you know, checking in with them, trying to. Some people, you know, they don't want to be bombarded. You'll start to get a feeling though, like I signed someone and it's not been their 30 days yet, but I just get the feeling, you know, they're not doing my checklist that I gave them, they're not posting, and I'm getting that feeling, you know, that they just don't really care about my health. It'll come to a point where, I mean, I just got back from vacation, so I haven't done anything, but it comes to a point where I'm like, hey, I just wanted to reach out because I noticed that you haven't done this and you haven't done that. Not being rude at all, I don't know what's going on your end, but I just wanted to remind you why you started and remind you still have a month left to go Ruby. And if it's not somebody that's that new, I really honestly start off by saying like, this is just me I'm sorry, now I'm like acting like I do tough love all the time, but I'm just real with them, and I say, I'm just gonna get real with you. I feel like I've done a good job of leading you. If there's something else you need, you can let me know, but I feel like I'm not getting the same amount back, and I have a huge team that of people that are running, and I'm not gonna forget about you, but I need to know that you want this as bad as I want it for you, and I don't feel like you do right now, so I'm just gonna, I'm ready to run when you're ready to run, and I need to pour into my other team that's ready to run, because they're not giving you that time back. You shouldn't be pouring into them every single day if they don't care about it. And a lot of times they'll be like, wow, thanks. Actually, I was having a hard time with my boyfriend, or they'll ignore you, and you know where you stand. So that's what I like to do. You don't have to pour into someone every single day and not get nothing back. That's draining. That's really draining.
I think. Okay. I seem to have a problem finding distributors. I can get loyals, no problem, but what can I do? Oh, sorry. But what can I do to break my shell and focus on getting distributors and stuff? I think it's definitely what you're posting about, if that's how you mainly run your business. If you don't feel like you are getting distributors and you're just good at loyals, you're usually only posting about loyals, and that's why you're not getting distributors. Or like, I think a lot of it is based on posting. If you're just posting like join my team, or I'm looking for 5 people, or like just stuff like that, it's not personable. It's not like, I don't know, it's not attractive to me. Like if I try to look at it as I'm a potential, and before I post something, I look at it and I'm like, okay, this just says I need 5 people to join my team. That sounds selfish, and that could be it. I'm not saying that's what you're doing by any means, because you might be a great poster, but I know that is a problem that I see with a lot of distributors.
It just takes me back to lifestyle posts. When I say lifestyle, you don't just have to say like, I have 5 spots on my team. Sometimes mine's just like, wow, we're at the zoo and I just can't believe that I'm doing this on a Tuesday. I love my life and I really have all the things that it works. Usually if it's like a full family picture, I'm gonna get a lot of likes on that, and I reach out to them and I say, thanks for the love on my post. Have you ever thought about joining my team? I think you'd be great. Simple.
Yeah, and like I said, it took me 2 months to sign my first distributor, and it took Rachel 5 days. So again, that comes to not comparing yourself. Gosh, there's an ambassador that it took her like 2 years to go executive, right? Who is that?
I don't know.
So one of them. So I mean, again, it just might not be your time. And I know I'm saying that a lot, and it kind of sounds bad, but it's what it is. Everybody's journey is going to be different, and you have to look at it that way, and you have to keep pushing it forward. You have to have a good why, and if you feel like you don't have a good why, you need to sit down and really think about it, because when you don't have a why, you don't pour your passion into the business, and people can tell that. I know for me personally, I lost my why, like when all this stuff started going on. I'm like, I don't even, like, obviously I need to pay my bills, but I feel like that's not a good why. And you kind of got to just sit down and see, and that will push you to make better posts. That will push you to talk to more people and to do all that, which brings them all to people.
The last question is, when you start placing distributors, do you have to have PBV, or is the 400 Club based on group volume? The 400 Club is based on group volume, because, I mean, some people say it's PBV, but we say group volume because if we say PBV, you might not want to move a loyal, so you keep that volume. It's always beneficial to move loyals so that your group volume is high.
And if you're wondering what the 400 Club is, like she said, it's 400 GB, so it's your total group volume. And what that is when you hit 400, not only are you awesome, and you are guaranteed a check, but also you get a lanyard and a Blitz card that you can wear around and do all that good stuff, because it's an easy Blitz tool. And I think that's it. Is there any last minute? Oh, KB.
How do you, if something like that happens in your relationship and you have your spouse on your team, how would you separate that? Like, are you still building that side, or how?
That's definitely a personal preference. I know, like, on the VIP page, they talk about, like, I mean, divorce is common. 50% of marriages end in divorce. Not to sound negative, but it does. And a lot of them, like, people are one side or the other. Some people are like, I'm not building that person at all, especially if they're not keeping the check, especially if it's not a good divorce. But like I said, Sean and I are on very good terms. And he talked about canceling his distributorship, and I just told him, I'm like, you know that you would screw me if you did that, because he's a diamond for my triple. And not that I absolutely need him, but I mean, it doesn't help when he cancels. And I just kind of asked him, like, can you keep it open at least until I can get somebody to replace you? And he said, yeah. And like, I'm not focusing on building him. I'm actually building my mom instead, and I'm compressing people up so that I don't have to build him, but I'm keeping the check. So I mean, I don't mind building him. Again, it's just definitely personal preference, and it also depends on like what your rank is. If you're executive and you're just using them as a 400 leg, then and it's going to cause an issue in your relationship, I would say just cancel it, because it's not worth the hassle. But like, diamond, double diamond, once you get up to those high ranks and it will hurt your business and you guys are on good terms, I would just ask and say like, can I keep you as a distributor?
Everyone's probably different, depends.
Yeah, it's definitely personal preference.
Okay, so if someone didn't get their first 4 loyal, like they're not gonna get their free product, and she were to sign a distributor, would it be smarter if she gets 2 loyals to move them under them so she can get her $100 fast start bonus?
If she's not eligible for the Ruby bonus or anything like that, as long as she has 2 loyal customers under her, she's fast start qualified, which means, I personally, I would move the loyals to earn the fast start.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example. When I signed Zach up, he was my last person for Ruby, and I got him. I was running his business obviously, and I gave him 2 loyals to get my fast start. I didn't give him his 4 because I was like, whatever, I'll miss out on that. And I started building his team. If it's after her 30 days and she didn't get her 4, 100% move them. You can't get your 120, so I would move them.
But she has to have 2 in order to even get the fast start, right?
Correct. You have to be fast start qualified to get a fast start.
Correct, like that's Zach. Like Zach still has 2 loyals under him, and he's diamond. So you don't miss out on anything. The only thing you miss out on by not having 4 active is your Ruby bonus.
We don't have to maintain 2.
No, you don't have to maintain.
You just have to have 2 active loyals, and loyals stay active pretty much forever.
Like you're still active if you're not running an auto shipment. That's what we mean.
Yeah.
So like I have 5 active ones. They're not running their auto shipments anymore, but they're still under me.
Anybody else? Nope.
My recital. I think it's very vital.
Okay, I took notes on the plane, so I just want to look over them. Okay. Okay. Honestly, like I said before, so Zach and I just got back from our family vacation. We actually landed at 6:30 a.m. and we did not get any sleep on the plane, and then we didn't get home until 8:30 a.m. So I'm very tired. I'm running on 4 hours of sleep with a 2-year-old who's probably running on the same amount, and I'm emotional, and I'm honestly like checked out to where like I'm kind of feeling like I'm a little crazy because I'm tired. So I'm probably gonna cry, but the thing that when Desi and I were planning this meeting and we were kind of thinking of like the theme, we thought about December, and we've obviously both been in it for December last year, and that was my slow month. It's the holidays. And so we kind of like, as you can tell by the theme, it's, overcoming your struggles, sticking through December, because come January, it's huge. It's a new year. People have Christmas money. People are trying to lose weight because it's January 1st. They're having big things. It's conference, blah, blah, blah. So it's really just getting through December, and even if it's your slowest month, like it was mine last year. That being said, at the end of like this meeting, we wanted to have kind of like a real and raw panel, and we didn't know who should do it. And I was very frustrated. I had a few people quit on me, and I texted her and I said, I want to do that panel. I just really wanted to be like a tough lover, and I really just wanted to be like real, because I was just over it. But then when I was on the plane yesterday thinking about like what I was going to say, I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a different approach and just be honest with you guys, because I'm not like this big bad person, even though I get annoyed. I have struggled like you guys too. I'm just really tired. That's also why I'm crying. But so anyways, that being said, I just really want to get real with you guys, because I'm kind of tired of hearing like that when people, post on your page or message you saying like, I wish I could be where you are. Like, we just have to try to not say that and try to like work on saying, I can't wait to be where you are, because you will be where I am at. Like, there's a difference between me and someone who signed up yesterday. I've been in it for 14 months. I've learned, I've struggled too. It just makes me like, I guess it's just been making me frustrated, because I feel like you're automatically assuming you can never be where I'm at when you say, I wish I was where you were. So that being said, you will be where I'm at. You just have to work hard. And what people don't see from us as leaders is, oh my God, what happens like behind closed doors. And I just wanted to share a little bit like about my story, and just say, just like some of the major things of like maybe how we relate. Zach and I, we were on Link. I don't know like if anybody, you might not even know what that is. It's government assistance. And just like what I was saying on the plane, because they were both sleeping, and like I just literally kept making these sentences saying like, what people don't see is this, what people don't see is this. And what I said was, what people don't see is, or what they didn't see is, every single time we went to the grocery store and calling, you know, the back of the card to make sure we had like what we had on our card to get groceries. And for those of you who like don't know our story, Zach was a manager, and he only had an hour with Carter when he got back. He lives in Rochelle. He drove to Rockford, and he was on salary pay. So like what I wrote is like what people didn't see is when he would come home and Carter would not go to him. And I'm just like, I'm also emotional because like this past week has been really eye-opening for me. And I'm ugly cry girl, sorry. But okay, I'm just gonna take a couple steps back. In January of last year, everybody was writing their goals down, and I wrote down my goals, and I just stopped at Double Diamond. But something I put at the bottom of my list, besides getting pregnant, which isn't gonna happen, but it's okay, is going on a family vacation. I wanted to get on a plane as a family, and I just wanted to do something as a family. And I guess I'm emotional because we got to do it, and we planned it like literally in 3 weeks, and we just got back from it. We did it in December, you know, right around the holidays, and I'm just so blessed because we were able to do that. I literally unplugged from my phone, and I really didn't do anything for the business, and it felt so good because I still had one of my biggest paychecks, and my team still did. You guys are still here, and it just felt so good. And I'm emotional because on the way home from the plane, I was just literally sitting there. I was just sitting there thinking about like our journey and back to the times when Zach would walk through the door and be like, "Come here, Bubba," and he would not want anything to do with Zach. And just like how bad I wanted my family to be together, and how after 5 months of us busting our butts, we both quit our jobs. And some of the other things I put was like what people didn't see was me calling Desi 2 months in. I was going Emerald, and I was like, I wanted to quit. I was having a pity party, and I just wanted to quit. It was a week before we were going to our first 1-2-1 mission, and I said I just wanted to quit. It was overwhelming. I had 20 people on my team. People were fighting. I didn't know how to handle it, and I wanted to quit. What people didn't see was that I went double in 5 months, and then that next month, marking 6 months in, I was charted for triple, and Desi and I were actually supposed to go together. Like she explained, we're best friends, you know, we were supposed to promote, and she went on vacation, and we were just gonna promote separately, and 2 of my diamonds completely crumbled, completely fell apart, and I'm still double, you know, that was in May, and I'm still a double, so like that shows how they literally fell apart and how hard that was. I just remember it was 6 months in, and I did not hit triple. Desi was celebrating because she did, and I was so hard on myself. And I remember one of it was, there was also a ruby leg under Zach that crumbled, and I remember just crying. I was crying in my bed, and I was sobbing, and I was being just a little bit psycho, and I was just, you know, like you make goals for yourself. I understand, you know, saying I want to go diamond by this time, and then it not happening, and it just tears you apart because you work so hard. And I just want you guys to know that I too am very hard on myself. I have not always crossed my goals off the list. I thought I was going triple in May, and I'm still a double. I've probably dealt with everything you guys have dealt with. You know, I've had people quit without telling me. I've had people blame me for their quitting. I've had people say very nasty things. Our whole family wasn't always supportive. You know, both of our immediate parents were, but we had family that probably still think it's annoying. At one point, I remember going out to dinner with Zach, and I was like, you know what, like, I kind of feel like I'm embarrassed to talk about It Works in front of certain people in our family. I feel like they don't get it. I still feel like they think we're gonna sink. I think they think it's a fad. And I was literally embarrassed. And I remember Zach was like, okay, that's ridiculous that you are embarrassed about your business. And like, that's probably really bad that I even said that, but I just kind of realized, you know, they don't have to get it. Your family doesn't have to understand. You have to kind of think, I oftentimes think about, you know, now that I'm a mother, I think about it like if it were Carter, and him and his wife quit their jobs and then they bought a house, and how scary that might be, not knowing if they're going to be okay. So I think like I've just had so many people come to me saying like, my family's not on board, I just don't know what to do when I don't have support, and it's okay. Just stick it out. If anything, use them as your why. I don't know who was talking about this. I think it was Katie, but there should not be a time frame on things, because something I learned at Tiffany's retreat is there is no finish line, you guys. This company's not going anywhere. I know when we first signed up, again, I'm being honest with you guys. I probably shouldn't even say half this stuff, but I'm just being honest with you guys. Zach and I would explain to people, you know, like we're just riding the wave until it crashes. And we're to the point after being at Tiffany's retreat, we know it's not going anywhere. This company is not going anywhere. There's no finish line. So stop saying, you know, I need to be presidential by December. Because I know when I personally do that, like I said I was going presidential this month because I wanted to be presidential for conference, and I'm not going presidential. It's not in the cards for me. And last month, knowing that I just couldn't do it because things weren't moving as fast as I wanted them to, I was just beating myself up because I was like, oh, I'm not gonna hit the goal I wanted. And that's when, I think it was Elizabeth Bilyeu said, stop putting a time frame on things and just focus on, I will sign this many people this month. I will change this many lives. That's what I've been doing. And that's what's been honestly helping me, is knowing that there's no finish line. I really want you guys, I just want you guys to know that I'm a real person too. I know a lot of you guys saw that video I made where I was crying, and I was talking about this girl I met on Instagram, and I was just saying, I was crying because I was like, she was so excited to join and she doesn't have kids, and I just was crying because I said, she does not know how much this is going to change her life, and I'm so excited, and I was really overjoyed, and I was feeling very emotional. She signed up, got her first 3 customers in her first week, and this is her second week. And on vacation, I woke up to a long voice message, so I heard her voice saying, hey, I'm sorry to ruin your vacation, but I called customer service this morning and I canceled and I got my money back, and she just went off. And it was obviously I don't know where she's from Instagram, but we Skyped, we did everything, and I had the best feeling, and I felt like she betrayed me. I felt like she was one of my best friends that betrayed me. And I felt like I didn't even know her, the things she was saying. And I just want you guys to know, it's so easy to cite someone to be like, they're gonna do so well, and then the next day you're like, what happened? I thought we were in this together, you know? It happens to the best of us. I had 3 of those situations that happened on vacation where they called customer service behind my back and then they told me. I didn't even have a chance to, maybe talk them out of it. So what I also wanted you guys to know is, Zach is my diamond, and if we're just being honest here, his check has gone down the past 3 months. And we've been struggling with rebuilding him. It seems like every single person I put under him, they're struggling a little bit. And so the point of me telling you guys that is, yes, we're making 5 figures a month, and yes, our life is awesome, but we still struggle with charting. We still struggle with quitters. I do enroll a lot of people, but the ratio is so crazy. Half of them quit all the time. That being said, with that situation where where that girl voice messaged me, I just sent her a voice message back because she opened up to me and she really shared some deep stuff about her life and why she needed this. And I just responded to her. I just said, you know what, I'm so sorry to hear that. It does bum me out for the rest of my vacation because you did tell me this, and this. So I'm really sad that you went behind my back and canceled, because I feel like we could have worked it out together. But she told me she's signing back up in March, but we'll see. But anyways, that being said, it happens to everybody, and you just have to kind of, I don't know what the saying is, take it with a happy heart, even though it sucks, and just know that even though I know a lot of you guys say you look up to me and Desi and stuff, we honestly do struggle. And I actually had this really long story. It's really not that important. I'm just gonna cry, so I'm not gonna say it, but I just wanted to kind of explain that when I started this, it was my senior year of college, and I was majoring in social work, and I actually graduated in May, and with a degree in social work. And forever, I really wanted to work with abused and neglected children, and I just kept saying, I'm gonna change the world. I wanna save all these babies' lives. Then I had my own son, and I realized I could never do that. I'm too emotional, and I found It Works, and I guess the point of it is, I graduated, I got my degree, I thought that I was gonna change the world with that, and I really do believe that God placed It Works in my life at the time that I needed it. I wasn't looking for it, but it really did save. I say it saved our family's life, not saying we were drowning, because we weren't drowning, we struggled, but it saved our lives because we've been home since February with our son every single day, and I don't really quite know, I'm probably just rambling, but I just wanted you guys just to know a little bit about myself, and that I have worked extremely hard. I know when you sign up, it's so easy to look. I looked at Tiffany Her and I was like, I could never be there. It looks like she has it easy. And just know, you just have not seen everything behind closed doors and everything I did deal with to get to where I'm at. So if you guys are thinking right now that you're maybe in a slump, or you've just been knocked down, and you don't know how to get back up, if you guys stick it out through this month, it is gonna be rewarding. I haven't signed anybody this month yet, and I do kind of feel like it's gonna be slow because of the holidays, but I'm comforted in knowing that I'm planting these seeds still, and I planted these seeds in November for them to all sprout in January. And I know it's hard when people just keep saying it's not your time, but it will be. Come January 2016, I swear, if you guys just stick it out, all of you guys, all of your seeds that you planted this whole year, they're gonna blossom because it's also tax season. That being said, we really do love you guys, and maybe some of this seem like tough love, but we just really want you guys to know that we're all real and we all do struggle at the same time. And I don't quite see, oh, Desi's right there. I thought you were in the back of the room. Now we're just gonna do the panel, or the raffle. If anybody wants to buy any last minute raffle tickets. Oh yeah, Tiffany's explaining. Sorry. Tiffany, do you want to come and talk about it? Tiffany's gonna just explain what organization we're donating to, if anybody wants to do any last minute donations. You can hear me. I feel like you can't hear me.
Okay. Well, hi, I'm Tiffany, and a lot of you know, but some of you don't know that my son was born with a heart disease. We have lived in the Ronald McDonald House lots of times. That's like our second home. So first of all, to Desi and Rachel, thank you for having me do this because this means a lot to me and my family. Okay, here's our pictures. So this is the one that I've actually stayed in. It was built in 2008, and I was the second pregnant person to ever live there. Basically what they do is when your child is in the hospital, then you're allowed to be on a waiting list for people who can't afford hotels and don't really have a lot of money for food. And you're away from your home, you don't know where you're gonna stay. This one houses 16 families at a time. A couple of the rooms have 2 and 3 bedrooms or beds in them. Each of them have your own walk-in closet, you have your own bathroom, you have hangers, and every single thing in the house, including all the materials to build the house, is donated by the community. So the food, everything, as you can see down here, people actually donate food, they donate laundry soap, they have washers and dryers, you can wash your clothes. If you're being helicoptered or ambulanced, you literally have what's on your body and that's it. So thankfully, they have stuff for you to wash your clothes with. They have donated soaps, they have donated hairbrushes, toothbrushes, every single thing you can think of that you don't think of when you're in a rush and you're in an emergency, they have for you, and it's all been donated. Every single night around 6 o'clock, they'll announce it, and families and just different organizations make food for everybody. So it's also for people who they don't have room in the Ronald McDonald House. They have like lockdown in the hospital and the surgical unit between like 6 and 7, and you're not allowed on the floor. So what they do is tell you to go ahead, have a meal on them, and you go over, people make food, you help yourself every single night. Every night you have something to eat. Every night you have something to drink. You have a bed to sleep in. You have a shower. It's like so terrible sleeping in the hospital chairs, not having a shower, just having vending machine food. Like it's bad, but this like gives you hope, you know? And if I did not have the Ronald McDonald House, I would be sleeping in the hospital rooms. And most of the time on the surgical unit, they don't let you sleep in the actual rooms. They just make you sleep in the waiting room. And if there's like a whole bunch of other families, because in Chicago, everybody's there, you literally are just like taking turns seeing who can scoot over and when you're gonna take a shift on the couch in front of people. Yes, I absolutely am I love this organization. I never knew what it was before I had Caden. I thought like the little boxes outside of McDonald's, I thought that was just, I didn't really know what that was. Like Ronald McDonald, I'm like, okay, you want more money for McDonald's? Yeah, right. But it's real, and the staff is so nice. They have people living there on site 24/7. Anything. If you get in at 5 a.m. and you need a room, and after your child's taken care of, and the nurses tell you go away, low stimulation, please let him like rest, and you have nowhere to go, you can go there at 5 a.m. anytime. They have a shuttle that takes you directly from the Ronald McDonald House to the hospital, which is so nice, especially in the winter time. And what we're doing with this money, I just want to say from my family and all of the families that are affected with and stay in the Ronald McDonald houses, this is so awesome. You guys are helping so many families with these raffles. Like, you're helping, maybe if anybody who has to go, you're helping them with food, or you're helping them with anything. It's a really good thing what you guys are doing, and I really appreciate it because, like I said, I never knew the importance of this until actually being there and experiencing it. Okay, and there's over 300 within 30 countries and the world, I think. I just looked that up. But but it's something like that, and that's good. Oh, and I've met lots of different families from all over the place. Families get flown in. You meet these families, you meet moms and stuff that are like, they're just like you, or it's so nice to be able to sit and talk to somebody. They have family rooms. It's 3 different levels. There's an elevator in there, and there's 3 different family rooms. There's a playroom for your kids. I know a lot of families, they have to come like in a big group because it's far away, so maybe they all come in one day and they can only visit that day. Well, there's a playroom for the kids. You don't have to bring the kids if you can't, or there's like extra pull-out couches, extra blankets, extra everything for people to make sure that they're comfortable and they have just a place to stay. I really love this, and I really think you guys are doing a really good thing by picking the Ronald McDonald House charity, because it's my favorite and I've experienced it firsthand. So, thank you. So as of right now, from the past few meetings that we've done the raffles, we've earned $624, and I'm donating 100, and I believe Rachel and Zach are donating 100 as well. Our goal was 1,000, so if you guys want to buy any extra tickets to.
So we're at 824. We really want to get to 1,000 so that we can just do one huge Christmas donation of 1,000.
Right. So if you guys want to buy any last minute tickets, we're going to do this raffle drawing after.
Does someone, Savannah, if you want to buy more tickets, go to Savannah. We'll do the raffle drawing in the beginning, or in the meantime.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so we picked 5 winners who have 6 wraps each. Oh boy.
Okay, Samantha K.
Woo!
Dixie.
Wow.
And Kat Joe.
Tiffany Hughes.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna draw real fast. For everybody who bought BOGO, essential oils, yada, 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 it was pinned to the top of the page the whole month. I put all of your names in a drawing for this $100 Visa to the It Works store. Buy some Christmas clothes. Krista B, she is not here. There's a lot of out-of-staters, so she won. She's really sweet.
She's really sweet.
Okay,
Okay.
and then.
All right, we're gonna do the raffles now.
I still can't pay it all, but I got just enough to get off in this club and be a good time.
I'm sorry.
A big thank you to Dee for that. She was really awesome for giving these baskets. $250 in this little basket, or this huge basket actually. Oh my gosh. Anybody else? Last call. So far we're at 8:64. We are gonna have a few more people come up. Last call, last call. We're at 884. 884. Last call. We're at 884, guys. All right, we're going to do the drawings. We're going to come up front, right?
But every day of that rain is a great day.
Okay, so if no one else wants to donate, we'll be making a donation of $884 to Ronald McDonald House. So that's really cool for our first kids day. This is for the blanket. Two, 4, 1, 1, 1, 5, 7. Woo! Okay. Okay. This is for the binder.
And these binders are super cool. I make them every month. Not only is it a lot of paper, but it's a lot of really, really good stuff in there.
You can bring it when you need potentials.
2411200. Woo!
There's wine, a pillow, a book, wine glass, chocolate, wraps.
There is a inspirational calendar. There's a Joel Osteen book. Can't remember what that's called. Changes something. It's supposed to be really good. Pillow, snowman. There's a whole box of wraps. There's Fat Fighters. You get regular chocolates. Wine. Yeah. It's about 250, something like that. It's Christmas, so yeah. Good luck.
That was really nice.
Woo!
Yeah, let's give her a round of applause for Johnny.
Because just a quick reminder, she also donated a product basket worth $250 last month, so she's fresh. And the winner is. This one had a lot to go in a piece of that.
2411241. Hold on, I got
Okay, so we just want to gather for a team picture. You know.
See, it was last year.